Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the NECA Aliens Sergeant Craig Windrix. Though he didn't really necessarily appear in the movie Aliens, this is a tribute to Sergeant Craig Windrix, who was a huge fan of Aliens. His brother Kyle was a toy sculptor who initially started his business with McFarlane, but eventually moved over to the ranks of NECA Toys. But this figure was a tribute to his brother, who sadly passed away to his battle with cancer. And it certainly speaks volumes to the folks over at NECA Studios, who was able to produce a figure with the likeness of Craig Windrix. And I really think that's such a really nice thing that they did. And apparently proceeds of this figure as well will go towards the Windrix family and their the continuing fight against cancer. It is ages 17 and up, recommended for ages 17 and up. Looks like it comes with several different accessories as well, all of which we'll have a look at when we get this figure opened up. On the side, some artwork of the figure itself, and on the back, the read-up says the sole survivor of the Nostromo, Ripley, is discovered in cryogenic sleep 57 years by a salvaged ship. When she is taken back to Earth, Ripley learns that the company has established human colonies on the same planet where the alien attack originated. After all contact with the colony is lost, Ripley agrees to return to the planet accompanied by a team of Colonel Marines. Together they will rescue any survivors that remain and confront the alien menace head-on. As well as Craig Windrix, there's a couple of other alien figures available in this particular wave, all of which we will be having a look at in a minute. And then certainly on the underside, you can head over to NECAOnline.com to see not only the figures that they are producing for Aliens, but certainly the wide range of properties that NECA is covering as well. Having said that, what I'm going to do is take a break and going to get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Sergeant Craig Windrix. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. For your accessories, Sergeant Craig Windrix does come with an alien tracking device, or really just a room tracking device. Detailing, as I'm sure I've indicated in previous reviews of the Colonel Marines, the detailing's phenomenal on these pieces. Just that got this military green with the accents of the black, but along with the black, there's little buttons here on the sides. We've got the metal in the clips that will hold the strap, and it's a good pliable plastic strap as well. And you can have it around his shoulder. You can have him holding it also as well. An indicating screen telling us that there's several blips in the room, perhaps several xenomorphs that we should be of concern. But really phenomenal. I probably sound like a broken record, but phenomenal paint on all the accessories, not only really with the alien property, but other properties that NECA are producing figures for. Also, for your consideration, Craig Windrix also comes with a flamethrower, which is not something we get a lot of. Usually we get more rifles and standalone firearms, but it's nice that Craig gets like a nice different accessory with the flamethrower. Once again, the green, a little bit slightly different in coloring the green. It's more of a swamp green with some dark accents, some black accents on the ends, around the handle section there as well. And lastly, he of course gets something that we've seen before, a shoulder light. There's just a circular or half circle peg. You can take the back of the figure, and there's a half peg hole there. You just can peg that into place. Depending on how you want to have them, you can have them with it, or you can also have them holding it too as well. Which then brings us to the figure itself. Now, unfortunately, Craig passed away, I believe, on February 6th, which was about a week or two after the figure debuted in store shelves. It certainly serves as a tribute, and again, it really speaks volumes to the fact that NECA would produce this as a tribute to the gentleman that unfortunately had passed away. But likeness, though, and Spot's seen a couple of images from actual images of the gentleman himself, and likeness wise, it's really a nice looking figure. I look at also the figure as well, and it kind of also looks like Ben Browder from Farscape fame as well. But I mean, paint, sculpt, really such a solid job indeed. As for the rest of the body, a lot of components reused really from previous Marine figures. One thing I didn't realize until I was looking into this figure itself was that the actors that were brought in for the Alien movie were all allowed to decorate the armor that they were wearing. So if you kind of really look at the movie and look at the individual Marine armor, you'll see there are distinct different characters on there that are representing things that the actor, who was playing those roles meant something to them. I think the only difference is, I think James Remar was originally going to be in the role, and Michael Biehn ended up taking over for him. So his armor was not quite to his, what he would have put on it. But it really is interesting to see that all the actors had an influence to what was seen in movie. And with the Craig Windrix figure, it's very similar, that you'll look on little aspects, little paint indications and symbols on them, and each of the symbols represent something that meant something to Craig Windrix. The very front plate here, we've got his name, Windrix, but like right below it, for example, we've got DAO. Apparently that stood for Dao Pham, who was his girlfriend at the time, and there's a little heart there with DAO. Again, a really nice touch that they were able to include that. On the back of the figure, you'll see that there is a cartoon face there. There's a little caricature of Craig's face. This is also the logo that was used for the 5,000 Miles of Craig, a charity support site set up to him and his family. Caricature of his face, there's a little image of a penguin, which apparently was a tribute to Craig's favorite restaurant. And lastly, right down at the bottom corner there, you'll see a bowling ball and several different pins. This was to honor Craig and Kyle's father, who passed away the previous year, and their dad had a love of bowling. So again, it's really a nice touch that they incorporated so much into the figure itself. Not only really just with the sculpt and the suit that they wear, the armored suit that they wear, but that there's other components there that are all, again, tributes to the gentleman that passed away. Likeness-wise, and really, not really so much likeness-wise, but the rest of the suit, again, is a familiar sight to see from the other Marines figures. Again, nothing taken away. I mean, the paint is phenomenal on these pieces, and I like that they have individual armor, right down to the fact that when you look at his torso, this whole rubber section is an extra piece that is over top of the this top torso, which is something I probably have mentioned before when we were having a look at the previous released Marine figures. He's also got himself a harnessed strap, which is attached. It is attached to the torso plate, but also the straps are individual as well. And it looks like it's adhered right at the top here and allowing the straps to be loose down below, holding things in pockets and little things that the Marines would be using on the force. For his articulation, Windrix does have also the same articulation as the previously released Hicks and Hudson, in the fact that he does have a ball jointed head, rotates up and down, left and right. The ball joint is actually located right underneath his head versus right at the lower base of his neck. He does have the hinge socket shoulders, so they rotate out quite easily, and also the shoulder pads have no hindrance or no obstruction to those arms being able to move. His arms do move forward and back. He does have a bend and rotation in the forearm, as well as a rotation in the hand. When it comes to the upper torso is on a really nice ball joint crunch. And then down to the legs do go forward, out, back, a slight rotation in the thigh, what appears to be a double bend in the knee, and also a bend and pivot in the foot, right down to the hinge in the toe. Quite a bit of articulation, but certainly articulation that we've now come to expect with all NECA pieces. The casual collector, Sergeant Windrix, certainly serves as a figure that you can add to the ranks of the Marines. With NECA has already produced so many alien figures, the ranks of the Marines have been greatly outnumbered, and with Windrix definitely being added to that mix, you can add some extra firepower needed to fight the alien menace. Certainly on a personal level, it's an absolute pleasure to review something that a toy company took the time and the effort to produce something as a tribute to a man that not only loved life, but loved the alien movies. And certainly for that reason, Sergeant Craig Windrix, I'm going to give him an 8.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the NECA Aliens Sergeant Craig Windrix. Certainly stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you next time.